What's going on, beautiful people? I am Wes from AconnectionTV here on YouTube, the one place in the world where we actually adopt similar connections about our differences. And we're going to talk about the latest episode of Baddies USA, episode 17, entitled Shaking the Mucking Table. And that starts off with the diamond, the body, and the Natalie conversation because that's the only time the table was shaking. The rest of the episode was very lackluster. But anyways, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Diamond the Body tries to sneak Natalie, and it's an epic fail. I love Diamond, but, you know, in my mind, I'm like, and we already know how it ends up because they make up with each other. But in my mind, I'm like, what was the point of the sit down if you were going to try? Like, I know you see all the security there. They not gone. They not, you know. But in my mind, it's, you know, Diamond the Body, she trying to create a moment, trying to create a scene, trying to liven up the show. At least that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe this is the moment, like a, oh, okay, entertainment moment. But I don't know. Usually with the sit-down conversations, they don't end up becoming that because at the end of the day, security comes, it's separated, it's over. And then, you know, it's like right after that, she leaves. So then I'm like, that just, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand from the entertainment stance of that and where her mind goes. But I'm like, ultimately, that wasn't nothing worth talking about. Like, this episode was a 1 out of 10. I would rate this a 4. I would rate this a 4. Yeah, I would. DTB says that Natalie was scared. DTB leaves the show. Smiley is throwing money in the air on the hip hop buggy. They go and they ride the little hip hop buggies. I guess that's the first of its kind in Houston, I guess, or whatever. Black owned, I think, is what the woman said. They go, they ride. They don't really ride, but they park. You know, for whatever reason, the Zeus network can't really do a lot. Like, they want to keep things contained with their production. So, you know, they did ride. Sure, they probably ride from this way to that way. But in terms of filming and getting the footage that they needed, they was like, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have them dance and do a little 1-2, and we're going to Smiley throw some money in the air. And that's going to be the scene. Then we're going to drive. Y'all going to ride over to the thing. I feel like Zeus has the money to not just have us looking like, oh my God, I wish I had the money and resources that they had, man. I just would create so much. Anyways, Cold Killer says she drunk on the buggy, which I'm like, okay, this is a setup for how she's going to act because I know she's going to be drunk the whole way through because she was drunk on the buggy. She's going to be drunk at the sit down. Natalie and Scotty walk in together. And I'm like, okay, it's the performance of the way the reality TV show is. It's like, it's an interesting thing, right? Because they have to put on for the cameras. They have to put on to allow the scene to go from scene A to scene W. You know what I'm saying? They have to get through it and put on. But in my mind, I'm like, how much putting on do you have to do? Because all season, y'all been coming at each other. Y'all don't like each other. This woman just called out your man, or soon-to-be husband, because they not married. They're not married. Your soon-to-be man or whatever your soon-to-be is, father, baby daddy, and y'all like, hey, and walking in together. I just... that's what grinds my gears. I just can't. I couldn't do it. You know, I couldn't do it. All the girls are drunk. They all get to the little sit down, the little thing in Houston. Scotty finally get to eat. They said the food is cold. You know, but there's food there. I'm shocked that there's food there. Killer has a sidebar conversation with Fauna saying, I want to fight. Fauna like, you want to fight? She like, who? She like, who you want to fight? She like, Fauna like, I want to fight too. Come on, let's do it. Killer like, who you want to fight? She Fauna like, you can just hit on anybody. Don't matter who you want to fight. Let's fight Summer. And then they start laughing because Summer heard them talking. They start laughing. Killer is like, she wanted to get drunk, but then she didn't want to get drunk because she drunk. And now she in a space with all her ops. I'm like, in my head, who really your ops though, Killer? All y'all get along in my mind. All people not here. Gretchen not here. Suki not here. Tommy not here. Who her ops? I think her only op. Oh, Nunu. I guess Nunu is her ops. Tavy by way of Fauna, I guess, is her ops. I don't know. Natalie talks to the girls and says she's been missing because she don't want to deal with all the drama. It's a lot of drama and bullish. And I'm like, girl, but this is Baddies. This your show. It's always drama and bullish. She lets the girls that she met up with Natalie and, you know, I mean, that she met up with Diamond, and Diamond wanted to run that fade. Said she wanted to head up. Now, we talked about this in length, okay? Natalie got that one up with Diamond. Natalie called Diamond to the carpet. I asked her in the interview, I said, girl, what? I said, don't ever do that again. She called you. Multiple times you did not come up because Lemmy called you. Okay, Lemmy called you not to come up to the girl at the Baddies Africa reunion. Okay, fine. But what did you think was gonna happen afterward? Like, she got pounced on, her nose ended up broken. Okay, boom. Now y'all think she need this one up? Natalie said, I'll give you the one up if we do the UK boxing match like I did with Tommy. I said, now I don't know why Diamond wouldn't want to do that. That makes some sense to me. Get some more moolah out of the situation. In my mind, like Tommy did. Tommy got some moolah out of it. Now, Natalie and Diamond has become this kind of not as classic and iconic as Natalie and Tommy, but it has become that, right? There's always going to be a girl that wants to challenge Natalie. I mean, look at Rolly. You know what I'm saying? But the girls out of nowhere start saying, well, maybe not out of nowhere because the editing is making it seem out of nowhere. But Fauna is like, yeah, I think you and DTB should run that. Y'all should get that head up. Natalie said what's in my mind. I already gave her a head up. She's decided to sit down, but I charged after her. I wasn't dealing with it no more. And like I said, I told supposed to Diamond, I said, girl, you sat down. So I'm confused. Well, no, I'm not confused because Rolly brought it out after the edit didn't convey it. Rolly had to go and narrate the scene that we missed for 30 fucking minutes of this episode by saying what had happened. And what had happened was Tavy and Fauna felt that Fauna and Killer felt that because Tavy held Diamond's arms, that there should be a fair one in the situation. And now Tavy is all up in arms, pun intended, because she don't know why it's coming out in this moment that she feels some sort of way that Tavy did what she did to Diamond because John never spoke about it before. But we already talked about this in my interviews, and if y'all want to go and find out what's going on, go watch my interviews. Y'all need to get them interviews up, baby. I've been putting in a lot of goddamn work for y'all to not be giving the support that y'all need to give some support to. So you go watch them interviews, goddammit. But we're going to stay on topic. Then it becomes a situation where Fauna versus Natalie is happening, and I'm so confused. And the only reason why I think this is happening, one, because they drunk. Because there's been plenty of situations where this could have come up and it had not come up. One, they've been drunk. Two, they've been out there for a while now. And they've been going online back and forth with each other. All right, we know this already. Fauna is drunk, she and her feelings. Now, the way that Tavy described it on the live and in this particular episode, they've been cordial, they've been cool, they've been talking, they've been pillow talking, and they sleep with each other. That's what she said. Those are her exact words. Now, we know they're not having sex, but those are her exact words. So my mind is like, it's not conveying that on the channel. Like, when we see every episode, we knew y'all had issues. But now, if y'all fooling with each other in the background, we don't know that because they don't film y'all when y'all fooling with each other in the background. So Tavy is all in her feelings and her emotions because she drunk, one. And I think she really genuinely did care for Fauna, really genuinely did care for Tavy at one point in one time. Now all of this is coming out. Now they talking about the Diamond stuff. Now Tavy just fought Diamond the other day, and she didn't really want to fight Diamond, but Tavy said that Diamond caught her out, so that's the only reason why she fought her. She didn't really want to fight her. And so Fauna and Killer are like, well, you only fought her because of Natalie, and you riding Natalie because you're really cool with DTV, but you're not really cool with DTV because you fought for Natalie because that's who you're really cool with, and you're only cool with Natalie because you D-riding her. All of that was said in the luncheon or whatever, the make-believe dinner, but the editors decided to not put none of that in and said that Rolly's going to tell us about it later. Okay, boom, we caught up. Now we caught up. Now Fauna get up, she mad. Tavy get up, she mad. She like, no, I'm not a dick rider, son. I'm not a dick rider. They get into each other's face. Tavy push Killer, push Fauna, and Killer like, beat her up, smack her. On my mom, punch her in the face. On my mom, punch her in the face. And it's a Fauna is between a rock and a hard place right now, literally, because Cold Killer is the hard place, and Tavy is the rock. And I'm not talking about nobody's looks, but I'm saying you got this rambunctious Minnie Mouse. Beat her up, hit her. On my mom, hit her. Don't let her get in your face. On my mom, hit her. Because I can just imagine the kind of conversation that Cold Killer is having with Fauna regarding Tavy and the friendship that they got. I can see it clear as day, right? It may be in my head, but I see it clear as day. Cold Killer ain't really on that with Tavy. And she already said that she's not on that with Tavy, and she only dealt with Tavy because of Fauna. So in this moment, Killer is like, listen, I can be done with this bitch. You need to wash her right now. She pushing you shit, no friend, put their hands on you, smack on my mom, smack on my moms. Fauna is like, chill out because I know where this is coming from. This is a lot right now. This is my friend and I like her and I'm drunk and she get on my nerves and she a D-rider and all this stuff. But man, I'm so upset and so aggravated right now because Taylor, you should be better. You should be better. You should be better. In my mind, this is the argument that I see that's going on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to deep dive. We're going to take that deep dive. You know what I'm saying? And Taylor like, why are you doing all this right now just because Natalie is here? Y'all was not saying this to me yesterday when I fought Diamond or the other day when the thing happened, or y'all knew what happened at the reunion when everybody found out and I said what I said. But in my mind, I'm saying, tell me, why you still saying you broke up the fight? I don't know why that's still in her mind, but whatever. So boom, Tammy feeling some sort of way or whatever, and they're going back and forth. And then boom, cat came out the bag, baby. Scratching and clawing came out the bag. And that's fine because she like, no, I'm tired of this face shit. Let me make sure I didn't skip nothing. I'm going to read my notes. Killer and Tammy go at it. Killer is funny drunk. She like, did you break the fight up or not? Did you break the fight up or not? Did you break the fight up or not? Tammy says she broke up the fight with security. Okay. Rolly says, why are you jumping in for Natalie after riding for these two? Fauna calls Tammy a D-rider. Then we have her combo of Tammy. Okay, that's where I get into. Natalie gets up saying she is going to leave. I hate when she leaves. I hate when Natalie leaves. It's so annoying. Then we say Dolly says, same shit, different toilet. Now, here's the thing that's going on with the big three or the pretty three now. Because at the reunion, they didn't help K Rican. Now, we all know K Rican can't fight. We all know K Rican is the summer of the pretty three. It is what it is. She ain't beating up nobody. She cannot fight like that. She never could and she never will. Not unless she take a boxing license and make sure her equilibrium is equilibrium. Okay? And so we know this already. So apparently, allegedly, the pretty three had the same conversation that the big three had. But here's the difference. And I know y'all might not see the difference because some of y'all love y'all some big legs down. Some of y'all love y'all some dolly down. Here's the difference between the two. And I need y'all mature, level-headed brains to be able to decipher, okay? The difference between pretty three and big three, yes, they had similar conversations, but the conversation that the big three had was Tasiki, was Tasiki. That's the conversation, okay? The conversation that K. Regan is having about is Tinker, who else? Dolly? Maybe Dolly isn't that, and Nunu. So that's where it's not a balance because I can understand why Lex and Dolly are afraid of Tasiki, but the difference is Cold Killer and Fauna had already fought the ops of K. Rican. So one could argue, when shouldn't they fight? Because they already fought, right? One could argue that. But then in my mind, I could look at it like they not Tasiki. So why you can't fight them? I fought them. Why you can't fight them? You know what I'm saying? Like, they not a Tasiki. Like, why you running from those fades? You up here talking all this yin yang, all this mess. So fight Tinker. Fight Nunu. Fight Dolly. The other two, Killer and Fauna, fought all of them. Dolly up. Fauna fought Dolly. Killer fought Dolly. Fauna didn't fight Tinker, but Killer fought Tinker. So it's like, what's the issue? We fought them. You should be able to fight them. And I can understand them saying to K. Rican, because she can't fight, make this your reunion because they want her to come back. And everybody argued that K. Rican should come back. So there's a lot of differences between what was going on. Like you could see the similarities, but you could also see the difference. And it should be a full rounded view for anybody out here that's watching this. Now, like I said, one could argue they should have fought for Rican because they already fought them. They should not be scared. But then the other one, on the other side, I'm on the other side. Like, girl, you wanted to be on the show. You couldn't be on the show for whatever particular reason. You couldn't be on the show. But if you want to come back, do what you got to do and stand on it. You up here talking like, you know what I'm saying? So according to that reunion, the beef or whatever, K. Rican felt some sort of way. And she posted, she felt some sort of way like, where I'm from, my friends help. But then that go back into the conversation. Sorry for the segue. But that go back into the conversation. This is the deep dive. But that go back into the other conversation that we talked about. These girls are not really friends for real. They not. So like Dolly said, same shit, different toilet. It's the same situation. Sorta, and then not really. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody that got a mouth, whether it's Summer, Biggie, or K. Rican, should be able to use them hands. And out of all three of them, Summer fight on her face and don't really back down. The only person she backed down from was Tasiki. But other than that, it's like, if y'all can't fight, shut up. And if y'all don't want to shut up because y'all don't want to shut up, then prepare to fight. That's just how I feel about it. All right, we're gonna move on. Tavy walks off, she crying. Now listen here. Fauna stands on the table. Killer says Tavy fuck Bo messes with DTB and Natalie. Like that's really a problem, but it's not. Natalie like, girl, what y'all talking about? I don't care. And so boom, Tavy walks off, she crying. This is how you know, because Fauna was crying too. They cared for each other. They did. They cared for each other. I think the circumstances of the fans mixed in with the TV and trying to figure out how to navigate. This is my thoughts. I don't know if Tavy and or Cole Fauna watching this. It's not my problem. But these are my thoughts. Okay. I feel like they really cared for each other. And I said to both of them, I don't want y'all to fight. I feel like they really care for each other. But between the fans and the fame, on either parts, I don't know who had their hand in the most with the fans, who had their hand in the most with the fame, who got confused, whatever, they lost touch of who they are as people. I don't know who did what and what did what, but I'm gonna tell you that's what happened. Because I feel like in the absence of the show, in the absence of notoriety, in the absence of fandom watching it, they would have called each other, and they have called each other. But I feel like we just keep instigating it. You know what I'm saying? And one got to stand on Marin and stand on this, and another person got to stand on Marin and stand on this, and it become a thing. Why you being fake? Why you saving it for the show? In my head, I'm on both sides, not of Fauna and Tavy, but of the concept of where Baddies is. And let me explain. This is a deep dive, bitch. I hope y'all got y'all snacks. I ain't doing more tonight. She ain't getting nowhere near 400 views and ain't get 200 comments, and that's okay. That's okay. She won't be back this week. If y'all get that video to where they need to be, maybe she'll come back next week. I don't know, but it's okay. You know, I be liking to just do these videos and just be solo dolo. It's just like me. But here's my thing. When does it get too far for these women to just stop putting on? Because let's be clear, they all put on. Every single last one of these women put on. And what does put on mean? Do I mean they act fake for cameras? Do I mean it's a front? No. I mean, instead of being on 50%, some of them might be on 80, some of them might be on 90, some of them might be on 100% because of the cameras. Okay? Let's be clear. To sit down with Natalie was a camera moment. But we know who we talking about. Diamond the Body is a camera girl. So it is what it is. I feel like everybody has this moment. Everybody had this moment. And honestly, I feel like the only one that hasn't really ever really had a moment like that for real, I don't know. I don't know. No, she had a couple of moments. Let me keep that name to myself. But when is enough? So now we're talking about Tavy and Fauna. Who carried the torch? Who had the moment the most? Who created the moment the most for the sake of entertainment? Who? Are we just going to, can we blame it on the alcohol? Because up until this point, we ain't never see Fauna go off like that. We know they drunk boots, though. And if I'm drunk boots, and if I got it in my head, like, the cameras is on, like, I'm bored right now. We stay here for 3-4 hours. Ain't nobody saying nothing to each other. I'm guaranteeing that I'm going to say something just to carry the ball. I am. That's me. And I feel like a lot of girls be up dealing with that pressure. Like, okay, ain't nobody saying nothing. Well, I want to say, Sapphire, how is Suki doing? Like, you know how Nunu just be in there sometimes. And I don't know if they be getting coached. All right, Nunu, you got something to say? All right, let's get that. I don't know if they get coached like that. But for me, if I know we on a show and ain't shit happening, I'm going to turn up. We on the show and ain't shit happening. We can't all be Kumbaya, my Lord. We just can't be. And so in my mind, I understand Tavy and I understand Fauna. They both care for each other. They in their feelings. And I get Fauna's, all these damn names. I get Tavy's perspective about, ooh, you like that little cut? That little cut right there is sexy. And I like that little cut. I understand Tavy's perspective, like, well, why didn't you tell me this before? Blah, 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 blah. But then I also understand Fauna's perspective, like, if I ain't really got nothing, this is how I'm looking at it. I'm not saying she's looking at it like this, but if I really ain't got much to say on this show and it's always boring, I would just save some of the dramatic shit for the cameras because that's what the show is for. You know what I'm saying? And I can respect that from a certain point. The reason why I said it is because I'm always pissed that all this shit happens off camera. All this shit is always happening off camera. Like Anna fighting Mariah Lynn's mom. Why that happened off camera, but it's a storyline now? You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I like when we get the stuff on camera because we get too much stuff off of camera. So I would have rather Tavy and Killer, I keep missing these two, Tavy and Fauna to hold they shit in until we get to the show. That's just where I'm at. That's what Lex did with Biggie. She fought Biggie at the reunion. She didn't fight Biggie in real life. She held it for the camera. You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I feel like that's what we all be doing. We hold it for the camera. Not everybody, but a lot of us. And I can respect it because why you gonna fight Biggie in the UK when y'all know y'all coming to a reunion? You know what I'm saying? And if you're not really cool with Biggie, are you gonna tell her that you about to fight her? No, because you're not really cool with her. In my mind, like some stuff need to be saved. So boom, we having this long, drawn out situation about Tavy. She crying, she outside. She like, and if Natalie talking about me too, I'm gonna feel some sort of way. I think Tavy is caught up in her emotions because I think it is a tug of war. It's a tug of war with how much do I really got to be cool with Natalie and still maintain my original coolness with DTB and the rest of the girls? Do I really got to hate everybody because I'm cool with Natalie, or is Natalie gonna be cool with me? Hanging and being cool with everybody. We see Cold Killer got signed to Baddies Records. Natalie ain't worried about nobody's Cold Killer fighting or talking or whoop-de-whoop with whoever she whoop-de-whooped in with. She still got signed. So at the end of the day, it could be that. Or it could be that Natalie sees that Cold Killer is a great performer. They've been touring and everything. And she like, oh, this girl got clout. She about to make me a lot of money. So let me sign her up. It could be that too. It could be a multiple things. There's so many truths that's possible at one time. But in my mind, I'm like, this conversation is boring. I'm done with her. I already knew all this about it. Well, it's my fault. I do all the interviews and shit. But I already know about this already. And I'm like, y'all cutting out the conversation that was on my interview. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cutting out. If a regular viewer didn't see my interview, don't know what's going on, ain't no way in hell they watching Baddies USA, episode 17, entitled Shaking the Table on the Zeus Network, if the people from the Zeus Network ain't showing it. It's so weird to me. Like the editing is piss poor. Okay? Fauna stands on the table. Tammy walks up. Tammy compares her anger to Lex fighting Summer. Ain't the same thing, mama. I don't know where we got that from. Ain't nowhere near the same thing, and I'm gonna leave that at that. Ain't no way in hell you telling me Fauna versus Tammy and Summer versus Lex. Ain't no way in hell. But it's okay. She in her emotions, she feels some sort of way. All right? Tammy goes saying I fought Lex for you, and you was there for Natalie with DTB. Okay. 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 She said during the reunion, she ran up on Lex because Fauna was fighting her, and she ran up on DTB because Natalie was fighting her. She says that shows the level of her friendship. Then we hear Fauna is upset, saying that she never really gets to see Natalie, and she has a lot to say, and she's going to say it now. Fauna calls out Summer for saying Natalie duck and wreck. Now, here's the thing. Fauna goes off, saying, yes, you can leave. You can leave. You always leave. You always leave. And Fauna is going off on Natalie. Then here's the thing now. Here's what a lot of the girls be talking about. Yes, Summer was talking about Deck and Wreck. Yes, Summer was going in on Natalie. And yes, Summer did not say anything to Natalie in that moment. Summer felt like it's the time and the place. Then we got Rolly ass, numero uno culprit of holding in her feelings regarding Natalie, but then when the show was over, she want to lash out or lie. Fauna called Rolly to the carpet about that and said, we know you hurt. We know you upset. Why are you sitting here being quiet? This the thing. Like, it's hard to deal with real bras. Like, you know what I'm saying? As much as y'all hate Fauna, as much as y'all think that Fauna should leave, she real in this moment now. She can be crazy in this moment because she yelling at Natalie. But she also real in this moment because she's bringing up stuff that we've heard all these women talk about all the time. But they say here like, oh, Natalie, oh, you're oh, come on, Natalie. You know what I'm saying? But then get on here and then be blasting on Natalie, and that be the problem for me. But okay, I digress. You know, Tavy is riding for you and got her looking like a fool. This is what Fauna says. Fauna's like, you got Tavy out here riding for you, and she out here looking like a fool, Natalie. Fauna started crying. She drunk. She says, Rolly, you want to say something? This shit has been hard on you. She been gone and been running it. Rolly says, this isn't the time. So did Summer. Summer said, this isn't the time. Well, when is the time? When the show was over and y'all get online popping it? Fauna breaks down. Scotty commends Fauna for speaking up on how she feels. Sapphire walks in. She says she want to run it for Suki. I'm tired of this storyline. Why you running this for Suki? Suki ain't here. Let Suki be pregnant and let her do her shit. You know what I'm saying? I want Sapphire to be on the show without Suki. I want Sapphire, well, she did do that, but I want Sapphire to be on the show and not have Suki be the storyline. We don't need the storyline. But at the end of the day, we not gonna get new content from these women if y'all always have these same women on the same show because they like each other. Regardless of them fighting, a lot of them fight for the cameras, i.e. Dolly and Tinka. We don't care no more. Let me tell y'all something. These women are not really gonna go hard in the paint if they talking to the people they've been talking to and getting them now. We need 10 new girls, 10 vets. 10 new girls, 10 vets. Now we got this post from Natalie talking about she looking for all new girls. We hear this all the time. We hear this all the time. But it don't happen. It is what it is. Rolly explains what happened to Sapphire. Sapphire says, I don't have any answer for y'all, so stop asking me about Suki. Killer like, well, I want to fight, because, you know, Suki ain't here, but I want to fight. You said I got to fight you if I want to fight. Sapphire like, yeah, girl, they go from getting undressed to Killer like, yeah, no, I don't really want to fight her. She too nice. And no matter what, I would still fight her, and I would still have my anger for Suki. This was one of the most grown-up moments I recall watching Baddies. Okay, Killer says, take your rings off. Big Les says, as your friend, you should never put your friends in this kind of predicament. And I feel like, too, Big Lex talking about Suki going down Sapphire, got to deal with the repercussions. I feel like in any situation, if y'all really friends, then nothing like that should ever happen. You know what I'm saying? If y'all friends, there's no fighting. If y'all friends, y'all ain't going back and forth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, friendship should carry y'all through. So I understood what Lex was saying. Killer says, I don't want to fight her. Rolly tells Sapphire the truth that she shouldn't have to fight for Suki. And I just agree with that. Sapphire cries because she knows it's been a lot of, you know, heartache for her having to, you know, worry about fighting for Suki and Suki feeling some sort of way and the people feeling some sort of way about Sapphire not having Suki's back. Fauna goes to talk to Natalie. Fauna is crying. This conversation was chopped and screwed. But at the end of the day, I respect Fauna for having it with Natalie, and I respect Natalie for having it with Fauna. She says, Tavy riding hard for you, and things have been weird with their friendship. Fauna apologized to Natalie and cries for going off. Her and Tavy were close. She says, at the end of the day, Tavy is a dick rider. This is her confessional, and that's how she feel. Okay, boom. Tommy show up. She asked Sapphire, what's wrong? Because Sapphire is the real one. Now, if Tommy asks you what's wrong because you crying, you already know Tommy know what's up with you. Like, you a cool chick. Killer walks up to Tommy and says, let's out. What up? She ready to fight. She ready to box. It is what it is. Tommy said, nope, I'm not fighting no names. Killer said, how about no name when you said that my song should be the one opening up the show because my song speaks for who y'all are? I said, ooh, I know how that feels. They showed the clip of it and we see Tommy saying that. Tommy leaves. She don't understand why they keep coming to attack her. Yes, you do, Tommy. Yes, you do. Summer goes to talk to Tommy. Summer says Natalie was lying about Natalie saying she called her so many times. Tammy said, why now, Scott? Why now? Okay, boom. All right, so Summer and Tommy's conversation was a wash. It was all right, whatever. You know, Summer expresses herself. Tommy expresses herself. Tommy looks good. Tommy looks amazing. Tammy goes back in. And, you know, Tammy's like, well, why now? Scotty's like, it's because of what recently happened. Y'all don't be remembering when we be filming. I like Scotty, because Scotty keep it 100. Y'all don't be remembering when we be filming. Like, you just fought Diamond yesterday, so it's fresh in our minds. I like Scotty. Which, by the way, the teaser for her show is real interesting. I don't know why she going through all this drama when she pregnant, but that's okay. But it was the last ending line of that teaser for me. When the guy was like, you are not a homewrecker. I said, that's how we compliment our women. You are not a homewrecker, regardless of what the people say, regardless of how we first met. I don't know how to feel about that. Fauna comes back. Killer says her and Fauna don't argue. Natalie walks in like, what's going on? I'm so tired of Killer, Fauna, and Tavy and this argument. It's annoying me at the moment. Biggie walks in by herself like the lady said that she wanted to during the live, and she gets snubbed by Ciroc. She binked her, though. She binked her when they was getting separated. She binked her. But then you see things get a little chaotic and crazy. They get a little chaotic and crazy, and then we all know what happened. Low London was there. She got in the mix. She started fighting and protecting her friends because she was there with her friends. Ciroc, and they fight, stuff is thrown or whatever, and then the very next day, everybody think it was up to Low London, and Low London had something to do with it. All right. Anyways, leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel. Now, if y'all can, because y'all so great to me sometimes. Can you leave me 200 likes and 100 comments? I know y'all don't want to deal with Mona ass because y'all didn't help her out. But help me out. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much. Leave your comments below. Leave likes, share, tweet, and hype this video up. And I appreciate y'all. Doses.